The Aces look good. Ohtani's hitting bombs. And an unboxing. Diamond Diehards is on. Joe Rizzo here bringing you baseball along with the dog Jeff Healy. We are doing quick hits tonight. Quick hits, Diamond Diehards. Those are the shorter episodes, not the long ones. But guess what? Just a couple of days from now, we will be back in the regular form and another guest as the guest list begins to build up. A little teaser for that one. Mike Puma, Mets beat writer for the New York Post and our pal, makes his becomes our first repeat guest. That will be on the show later in the week. But for now, we're on Facebook Live. If you're checking us out live, jump into those comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to talk about. And we'll get some quick hits out of the way over here and get a little unboxing help from Xavier, producer Rizzo, and Dominic. He invented the jingle, Rizzo. So those guys will jump in a minute. And right now you get to see just Dog and I. FMSgraphics.com, the place to go for all your printing and promotional needs. Check them out online. FMSgraphics.com, printing and promotional needs. The Aces in New York, they could make little cards of themselves striking people out because they seem to be in midseason form already. We will do the quick hits episode, which is a little shorter, but Dog and I have opted to include your favorite segments, Die Hard Dads, later in the show. And of course, we love to open the show with Veteran of the Day. Dog will get to that in mere moments. We want to remind you to subscribe everywhere you find your podcasts. And you can go to diamonddiehards.com for a little aid in finding that on iTunes or Spotify at the moment. Our Twitter feed is on there. We keep building it. It keeps getting a little bit better. We're getting 1% better every day. Hopefully one of these days we'll get like 100% better on the website, but it's there. Facebook groups there flying, Facebook page, Twitter at Diamond Diehards, Instagram. I think we have the TikTok in the works. So go follow Diamond Diehards everywhere you follow stuff. And don't forget to subscribe to us, including YouTube as well, where you can watch these shows. If you don't catch it live, go to YouTube and find it there. So we kick off quick hits with a Veteran of the Day. And that's Jeff, the dog Healy, giving us that. Dog?
Hey, Riz. Good one here. We actually have a historic Veteran of the Day. And rather fortunately came right across my Facebook feed when I was like, oh boy, I need a Veteran of the Day with about 15 minutes to go. So this one is actually Second Lieutenant Jocelyn Coutant. She's the first female infantry officer in the Connecticut Army National Guard history. A former sergeant in aviation unit, she decided to go to officer candidate school at the age of, I believe, of 32 or 33, and then wound up branching infantry, and then went to the infantry basic officer leader course. She completed that at the age of 33, running out there with all the mostly males, 21 years old or so, just graduating college or so. So even tougher than usual, trying to be a 33-year-old, keeping up with the 21-year-olds. She's now going to deploy with her unit, which is the 102nd Infantry Battalion, off to the Horn of Africa to help fight in the War on Terror. So again, our historic one tonight, Second Lieutenant Jocelyn Coutant, the first female infantry officer in the Connecticut Army National Guard history.
Wow, that's a Dog coming up with some good ones here, some poignant ones.
For Women's History Month continuing, right? So we
yeah,
got that going and it all lined up.
And by the way, the episode with we've been pounding the rock here for a while, just about a year. We're coming up on the year anniversary soon, and it ebbs and flows. We had a great start to the show, which was mostly me at the beginning. Dog jumped in after a few episodes, and we had a couple of guests on last year in the early times. Ray Montgomery, who's was with the Brewers front office then. He's with the Angels front office now. And Mike Puma, they were good enough, as old buddies from Fordham, to jump on the fledgling program and help us get some looks. And then we had a little, hiatus due to life getting in the way in May and June there. And we kind of lost a little bit of momentum that we built up. Well, now, Dog, not only have we built it back up, but that last show with Missy Coombs really seemed to just throw us over the top. And, we were kind of, we were kind of middling there for a while. Dog and I like having our meetings behind the scenes here, being like, hey, what's going on? And I want to thank my buddy Jason Kelly, who was my longtime former co-host at RNC Radio. By the way, if you like mixed martial arts, go follow Rear Naked Choke Radio everywhere you follow podcasts and everything like that. Got a nice little pep talk from Jay, and then like magically, Dog, it seemed like a whole new world of people discovered Diamond Diehard. So if you're new to the program, we really appreciate you checking us out, and we want to keep you here because we try to do things a little bit differently, a little more upbeat. There's a million podcasts out there. Why do you want to watch or listen to ours? I don't know, because it's a podcast, as I say, Dog, about baseball and about life. And it's the Dog and Riz, or well, we usually say Riz and the Dog because it kind of flows better. But I just want to tell you,
you do all the work.
Good job. No, good job, Dog. You add a lot to the mix. You really do. And I appreciate that, this last year or so that we've had, it's been good times for sure. So
Fun.
Kudos to the Dog and to Jason Kelly. Couple of good Irishmen right there. We'll get ready to celebrate that on the 17th.
More on that later.
On the 17th rather than the 16th. Keep your eyes out on social media because you might see something fun on the 17th.
Oh, yeah.
You might. Okay. So, Dog, there's a couple of guys. One of them is named Producer Xavier, and the other one is named, he invented the jingle, Dominic. And these guys are chomping at the bit. We could make them wait because they're going to do the unboxing. We got a nice little gift from our pals at Strat-O-Matic. So the Strat-O-Matic Elite Media Experts League was something that they put together, and they invited the Dog and I, among other people, to do a 60 game season. And you can go back to past episodes or whatever, or go to stratomatic.com and check it out, or we've had the links in the descriptions and stuff, and I could throw it in there. But we ran off a 60 game season. I used the Cardinals. So it was the decade of the 2000s to 2000 to 2010. And, more details about that on previous shows. If you're really that, if you're a Strat head, then go back. Go listen to the Strat-O-Matic shows that we did previously. You'll love it. If not, don't worry. We'll get to the point. The point is that, fast forward, Dog was the Mets. I took the Cardinals, and I got my way into the 4-team playoff. I beat Sweeney Murdy of WFAN, the great Yankees beat reporter for WFAN. I beat his Yankees in the seven game series there. And Joe Lemaire, you see him all over the place, including on MLB Network. His Red Sox have been the best team the entire season. And John Miller's Giants, the Giant broadcaster, his Giants took the Red Sox to a 7th game as well, and Joe prevailed. So it's Joe against Joe for the title. They'll start running off the games the first Saturday in April. So on Saturday and Sunday, they'll run off like by the Strat-O-Matic computers, the Strat-O-Matic 365 computers. They'll run off the games, and then you'll get updates on if yours truly somehow pulled off a World Series victory. But in the meantime, it was nice that we got a nice little package from Strat-O-Matic. So we're gonna pump their tires a little bit and thank them. And now we're gonna bring in the guys, Xavier and Dominic. There they are. They're gonna unmute in a moment. Okay, I think you guys there.
Yep.
There they are. Okay, you got to say who's who. Whoever's talking, you got to say, this is Xavier and this is what we're gonna do. So
this is Xavier. I'm behind the camera producing, and then we have Dominic, who's actually going to be doing the physical unboxing. So.
Okay. So it looks like how heavy is the box?
I'd say maybe about 4 pounds.
Okay. So usually in an unboxing video, I think we start out by saying, "What's up, guys? Here we are. We got a box here, and it's about 4 pounds." And okay, I think Dominic's going to start with the cutting.
Yep.
Make sure not to reveal the other side of that box because it might have a label on it. But you might have to show at least one of the parts where it has the Strat-O-Matic label on the other side. Okay, so now as you could see, he's unboxing.
We're in the box.
Okay. Now you've opened it up. It looks like it looks like a box of Strat-O-Matic. Now, is there a letter? Is that a personalized letter, or is it like a congratulations, you've bought yourself into the world of Strat-O-Matic? What is it? Is it personalized? Is it like congratulations on making the World Series, or dear Strat-O-Matic, your Strat-O-Matic customer?
What a great pickup of Smoltz. I never knew he was on the Cardinals.
It's personalized. Yeah,
It
it's
is
personal to you. Yeah.
Is it?
Wow.
Oh boy! All right. So
Go
is
ahead
it?
and read it.
Read it. Get a little closer so we could hear you, or whatever. If you have an AirPod in, I don't know. Turn the box so we could see the box that says Strat-O-Matic on it. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Dear Joe, baseball is back, and while opening day for the pros isn't for a couple of weeks, Strat-O-Matic's opening day has already arrived. Fans couldn't line up outside our Glen Head, New York offices to get the first sets off the press, as thousands have done in years past, but they did have their fingers on their computer keys ready to order to have our 2020 season and a few more new sets hit their mailboxes. We wanted to thank you for being an MVP-type supporter of Strat-O-Matic as we celebrate our 60th anniversary season with this care package we thought you'd enjoy. You'll find everything you need to get started on your own Strat-O-Matic 2020 season as the big leaguers finish up spring training. Enjoy the game and feel free to tag us at Strat-O-Matic on social media if you're enjoying playing Strat or just showing off your fandom. We're proud of what we've accomplished in the last 60 years, and your support has helped us get there. Feel free to ask us any questions about the game if you're having any issues getting going, and we look forward to connecting this year. Yours in baseball, Hal Richmond, founder.
All right, Hal Richmond. Thank you.
Hal. There we go. Good job, Hal.
Thank you to the
Let's just show
Nation.
Address.
So that was Dominic on the reading. Okay, so pull the
There's the letter. Strat-O-Matic on there.
Yeah. So go tag them if you like this video. If you're watching this video, go tag Strat-O-Matic. Okay. So there's the box. There's the okay. You could see it in the top. It says it has the Strat-O-Matic logo on it. All right, you can get that. You can get that box out of here. Okay. Now this one is it sealed, or or can you just pull it open?
Looks like I can just pull it.
Don't damage anything in case I feel generous and start wanting to give some of this stuff away. We got to see. Okay, so that looks like a fielding chart, a ballpark chart. And that's got a bunch of numbers on it. And the other stuff, okay, you don't have to do that. We don't have to get that into the weeds. So take out, that's all, that looks like the cards.
That's the cards.
Set of cards, right?
Yes.
So who are the names on just those cards that are right there? You can tell us that.
Let's see. We have, I can't really see it that well, Dom. You want to take it at the top? Jose Iglesias, Baltimore.
Okay.
Austin Hayes, Baltimore.
Okay.
Anthony Santander, Baltimore. Ryan Mountcastle, Baltimore. Pat Valaika, Baltimore. Renato Nunez, Baltimore. Hanser Alberto, Baltimore.
Sweet.
Cedric Mullins, Baltimore. Pedro Severino, Baltimore. I'm pretty sure it's Cedric, but anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
And what about on the backside? Just that's probably
That's
I don't know,
cool stuff.
St. Louis.
We got here.
Got some St. Louis guys. What are those names? Fire them off.
Pablo Sandoval, Robbie Erlin, Ross Stripling, Jonathan Villar, Johan Oviedo, Ty France, Austin Hedges, Justin Smock, Starlin Castro.
Okay, those might be the Nationals then. Sounds like.
Yeah. Sorry if I
or mixed player cards. Mixed player cards or Nationals. Okay, you got a score sheet in there. It looks like. So if you order Strat-O-Matic, this is what you're getting.
That's the whole deal.
You got that sheet of something there. Those are fielding charts. You could.
Where's the dice? Where's the dice?
3 games in one, basic, advanced, and super advanced. Those blue cards have to do with the super advanced game.
Yep. That's looks like
cards.
What are those? Pitcher hitting cards?
Where's his favorite?
Those are gold. Those are my gold.
5-end lefty.
Oh, they give dice now.
There we go.
Oh, and rubber bands. Okay, so if you're newly indoctrinated, what happens is you take the cards and you break them up into either the teams that they've played for during the season that you're playing. In other words, like Dominic read off a bunch of Orioles, right? So you take all the Orioles and then you have a pile of them, and they give you the rubber bands to keep those guys together. Or if you do like what Dog and I used to do, you would have a full on draft, and then you have your players, and then you put them in the rubber band. So like that's that's a classy setup right there. All right, a couple other pieces of paper in there. What else we got? Just rules. That looks like rules.
Instructions. Yeah.
How to play.
Yeah.
There you go.
Basic fielding chart.
Okay, basic
Okay.
fielding chart as
Oh, I
opposed to
never-
the
never
super
used that.
advanced fielding
Yeah.
chart.
Advanced strategy chart.
Okay,
Okay.
advanced
That's like hit and run
strategy.
and all that. Yeah, hit
Yeah.
and run and all that. Okay.
Advanced fielding chart.
Oh,
Okay.
advanced fielding chart. So maybe there's advanced, super advanced. I don't. There's a lot of charts, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
that-
is. You
it's
forget how much. You
basic
forget how hard it
advanced,
was.
super advanced,
Yeah.
and then you get all the stuff for 'em.
Forgot.
It's fun to
good-
roll. It wasn't fun to look up.
I know.
Or-
Yeah, I know. More score sheets. And then what else is there? Is that just is that like a board? If you wanted to use like a board for the board game kind of thing? Or is
These
that
are-
Yeah,
or
you
is
can
that
roll.
the
You can
box?
roll it on there. That's right.
So you can
Nice.
roll it
I may
right
have
on
to-
there.
You know what? I may have to use that for my desk.
You might have to use that for your background, Doc. All
This is
right, good
sick of the
job
apple.
on that. Good job
Nice.
on that.
Good job, guys.
Producer Xavier and Dominic Rizzo jumping in to do our first unboxing. Usually you don't get to hear these guys. They have appeared on a show, I think, once before, actually almost about a year ago, when their baseball season got canceled due to COVID. So that's the Rizzo boys checking in. And Xavier will be hanging on to produce off camera, and Dominic maybe helping him out. So thank you guys for everything that you do.
Yeah, good job.
You've been
Thank you.
a big part of getting our show off the ground, between helping us get the name, managing stuff on the website. Keep at that, because we need you, and the people appreciate it. Thank you, Rizzo.
On air talent now. They're on IMDb.
Let's not get carried
Episode
away.
whatever.
All right, now make sure you put all the crap back in that box the right way, otherwise you're going to be in trouble as soon as the show's over. All right, you could flick that. You could flick the camera off now, Xavier. You're good to go. Okay.
All right.
And it's back to Riz and the dog here. So,
Drop some dice.
okay, so we got the unboxing video out of the way. That was pretty good. We teased it as coming later, but these guys were chomping at the bit, and I'm like, hey, what do you got? Like your studio downstairs? They're like, no, it's all a mess down there. So I think they did that on the kitchen floor or something like that. So now everybody knows what kind of tile the Rizzos have in their Italian kitchen floor type thingy. Dog, the Aces, boy, like deGrom stats after his. So we are on Tuesday, March 16th, and his spring stats have now equated to like a 9-inning game, and it's like a typical deGrom 9-inning game: 3 hits, a run, 16 Ks or something like that already. Like it's crazy,
Hitting
And
102 on the gun.
yeah, hitting 102, like consistently at 100. Like he keeps throwing harder as he gets older.
Yeah.
A lot to be said for the efficiency that these guys work with. That's just, it's just, I don't know, Dog. Is it that radar guns are different? Like, are they more accurate nowadays? Because when this was like a discussion on Twitter, and I think at some point involved our pal Jeff Fry as well, where, there were guys that threw hard, like, but Nolan Ryan threw the hardest, and he was like the only guy who really broke 100. Every now and then, somebody would come close or they'd tip it. But like, if you threw, and this is not that long ago. This is like 20, 25 years ago. Like, if you threw,
even mid 90s, right?
Yeah,
Even
if you
mid 90s. If you threw like 98, you were like, whoa.
you were a
As a fireballer.
flamethrower.
Yeah.
And if you were 95, if you were above 95,
Yeah, you're plus.
then you were really throwing hard. And then the other guys were like, 92, but you basically needed to throw like 88 or 89. You needed to be able to hit that. That was kind of the, even if you were a finesse
Crafty.
pitcher. Yeah, if you were crafty, you still needed to be able to hit 88, 89 to get looks.
Set it up, yeah.
Yeah, but you were fine. Like you didn't even have to throw 90. Now, like, is there anybody I mean, we talked about it with Misty Coombs, a crafty lefty. I mean, if you rolled in like a bunch of Bob Tewksbury's right now, like nobody'd be able to hit him because he can put the ball wherever he wants and throw it like, top out at 88 and throw other stuff at like 67,
Yeah. Be like Bartolo, right? Bartolo would be like sick again.
Yeah, he might still be.
You never know. Long season.
I think he was trying to try out for somebody. He hit that home run somewhere. Did you see that video?
That was tremendous.
That was a bomb. Speaking of, we didn't really touch on Gerrit Cole too, but I mean, he's basically right there with deGrom. I mean, there's, they look like the two best pitchers in the game, and on March 16th, they already look like they're supposed to look. So there's less question marks at the top of those rotations, whereas you have like, let's say the Nats, right? I mean, they have Scherzer, who was coming off last season where he was obviously not himself, and Strasburg, who I don't know, did he even pitch at all last year? I don't even know if he got anything in, and he's got a sore, he's got a sore elbow already this year, and they're gonna be cautious with him, and like that basically could scuttle anything the Nats want to do in the competitive NL East, like right off the bat. And though they clearly have two aces. There's a 1 and a 1A, right, between those two guys. So whereas the Mets and the Yankees don't have the benefit of that, they have the benefit of having their aces look like they're ready to pitch opening day right now. And neither of those guys ever show signs of fatigue throughout the season. They're just so consistent and so good. The question marks just come behind them in their respective rotations.
Yep. Yeah, and probably, I mean, the only one I would say I was kind of nervous on, I mean, obviously Lugo going out hurts the Mets because he's a key cog in the pen. Should be back soon. Supposedly it's not a big deal. We'll see. Carrasco getting off to a slow start, so he finally threw. Seems like they say he's on track for his first start. We'll see. If he misses a start or two or something like that, not the end of the world. But that was one that was a little bit nervous on. The Mets have decent depth down. I mean, Stroman looks like he's throwing really well. So that's another one that, which Stroman are you getting? The guy who was like great. He was okay in 19. Obviously didn't pitch in 20. Looks like he's really going out qualifying offers, pitching for his dinner this year. It looks like he's ready to rock and roll. He's backing up the stock right now. So down the rest of the rotation, it looks like you have some depth. Peterson's, maybe he's getting a little sophomore slumpish, so he's one who's maybe been a little bit disappointing for them. But again, they kind of more depth now, so he doesn't have to necessarily be in the rotation, which was a positive. Moto, I think it's gotten off to a pretty good start. So other guys seem to be kind of rounding for him. I mean, definitely deGrom like heads and shoulders above everybody else at this point, but. It feels like the Metsies are coming together pretty well. Pretty happy so far this spring training.
And we're going to dive really deep into them on the May 18th. May. I just you know what? I mean, the months just seem to go by anyway that fast. And on the March 18th show, the Thursday show, we'll delve into the Metsies a little more deeply with our pal Mike Puma, who does have a book coming out as well. And we talked about it last year, how it was going to come out eventually this year, and we're at that time. So it's a great time to follow up with our old pal from Fordham. The Yankees, dog, on like their breakdown of what you just did for the Mets is, Jameson Taillon has looked pretty good. Corey Kluber has looked great. But again, these guys are coming off injury, so you don't know if they just look good for a start or two. You got to see these guys do it over months, right?
Yeah. Until
they're no longer a question mark. But the guy you were talking about that we're every time his name comes up, I'm like, do we even bother talking about this guy? But it's Domingo Germán, and he looks great too. So, as a Yankee fan, admittedly, I've said it, I'm torn. I don't really like to root for a guy like that, but I don't know, in this world of second chances and whatever, Who knows? I mean, I think we've said probably.
If he's gonna be on your
piece
team, you might as well win.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to go out there and be terrible. So
Yeah, that's true.
So
And you know what? Fortunately, unfortunately, whatever it is, if people happen to be good at their jobs, that's usually what ends up getting them second chances, right? And second
Yep.
chances, third chances, whatever. Eventually, at some point, people run out of chances, and there's less tolerance for, people who have been cited for domestic violence than there is for, say, drug offenses, right? Like, I mean, that used to be, the opposite, right? Like drug offenders were like, oh, this guy's like, we can't touch this guy. And, the domestic violence stuff was just swept under the rug and, pretended like it didn't happen. I mean, this is, two 50-something-year-old guys talking about that, from our generation where we were younger. I mean, that stuff was never reported. Yeah. So, it's a different world. You got to adapt to it. And, if there's a team that's employing somebody who you don't particularly care for what they've done off the field, you can make your own decision. I mean, I've run it by a few people and they're like, just root for the laundry, man. Don't worry about it. And others are like, yeah, I just, I won't turn it on when he's pitching. Like, that's it. I just won't. Both sides are fair.
I understand. Yep.
Be informed, make your own decision. And that's that. Speaking of pitcher hitting cards in Strat-O-Matic, Dog, did you see Shohei Otani's 464-foot home run off the 30? Well, actually, it went over the batter's eye in Diablo Stadium in Tempe, out by our pal Boomer Hilbert. He was reporting on the scene over the weekend and sent out some. He tweeted out some good pictures. I didn't get a chance to actually post all of them. Maybe I'll get around to doing that. But Ohtani hits it over the 30-foot batter's eye, 464-foot homer. He's batting lefty in this case. And not only that, it's off of Shane Bieber. Like what?
That's pretty sick.
So here's the thing, Dog. Like, right? I mean, Angels, we always just like kind of touch the tip of the iceberg on them. And pretty much anything anybody ever says about the Angels are, well, Mike Trout's in hell. I mean, he's getting his money, but like, we're never going to really embrace him until we get to see him like in the playoffs every year, see him do something in a playoff run. And the Angels don't have any pitching and blah, 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 blah. Right. So you have a guy like Ohtani. Clearly the guy's a tremendous hitter, but is he more important to the team as a pitcher or as a hitter? And they say they're going to start him and that he's going to pitch every fifth day and they're not going to like extend out the rotation. So he could help him as a pitcher, but then on the days he's pitching, he's not going to hit. I mean, I suppose he would if, they're playing in a National League park. And I mean, you'd be dumb to, if the National League does go along with what they're saying right now and have the DH, then, you'd be remiss to make sure he's not starting a game every time, you're having a series in a National League park, because that's just a complete waste, right? It's worth it to figure out your rotation to make sure he starts, in San Diego or wherever, right? Yep. Because it's a huge advantage. But I don't know, Dog. I was thinking it through and I was like, what if, and I didn't really think it all the way through, and you're my numbers guy, my reality guy. What if Ohtani was a reliever? Does that actually lessen his value or does it increase it? Because he's going to pitch in more games, but he's going to, and you could control the leverage of the situations a little bit where he's going to pitch, but he's going to have less innings. And then what does it mean to him as a hitter? So if he's DHing in a game, can he go warm up in the bullpen and get ready to give you a few innings? I mean, kind of, he probably could, right? Depending on the situation. You just got to kind of know that, like, okay, Ohtani, you're going to pitch the 7th, 8th, and 9th today if we have a 2-run lead. Like, you're coming in. And then we just lose the DH. We don't care. You're still going to hit.
Yeah. I mean, I think losing a DH is always a big penalty on it. So having him kind of come in add the DH to pitch, I think is it's probably not the way to go. And especially like if you have a guy who's used to being a starter, they're all about the routines and stuff like that. The thing is, like, if you had him as a reliever, like, would you sort of be holding him out again? Like, can he DH and then be a reliever and also jump into that? That is a big mindset change, right? I mean, relievers are normally kind of they're kind of the thoroughbreds out there to begin with, right? So now you're like, oh, by the way, I know you just ran out from first to third, but by the way, here's this guy coming up, and you've got 30 seconds to look at his pitching chart before you jump in a high pressure situation. I think that's asking a lot of them. I mean, you could see like, maybe in a playoff game, and like I said, it kind of ahead of time, you sort of set up for it and whatnot. But I think in that case, I think he'd kind of mess with them on both the hitting and the pitching side. Whereas it's better off if he just says his pitching is more focused, and he can kind of focus on that one day, and the rest of the time he can just be a great hitter for you.
Let me rephrase. Which dog always does this? I'm not going to rephrase. I'm just going to pose another question. What if Shohei Otani was on the Rays? What would they do with him? Would they be apt to just start, playing him in the field? Like, you know what? G-Man Choi could DH. You could go play first. And then if we need you to pitch, you could come and pitch. Like, so I don't know. The thing that I don't really get, Dog, is, and you could kind of throw the Rays thing away unless you have an actual thought on that. I mean, I was just kind of putting it out there for the ether. But on days where he's pitching, right? There's no way you could just let him hit. There's no way that you're giving up. I don't know, like the DH on that day. Like, you're gonna get the 3 at bats from him.
I mean, deGrom seems to do okay hitting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he could, sure. So
well, they can, but they're not gonna. Like, on days when he's pitching, they're gonna have somebody else DH. So, like, why? Just let him hit.
I don't disagree. Yeah, if he's a better hitter, then who's going to be DH for it? Like, why would you not then?
Well,
like,
because
why don't you take that DH and make him a great pinch hitter for like your shortstop in the 7th inning or something like that?
Well, because theoretically, he's not going to pitch, 9 innings very often, and then in that high leverage potential at bat, after Trout's up, and you're trying to rally against Aroldis Chapman down 1 in the 9th, you would have Justin Upton or somebody or Rendon batting behind Trout at that point instead of Ohtani there, because Ohtani would already have been out of the game. He would have been lifted for, not for a pinch hitter, but for his, pitch count or effectiveness or whatever. So now you're giving up that, potential high leverage at bat. But the thing is, in those games, if he's batting in his regular slot, he's almost certainly going to get 3 at bats a game. Now, if he gets 3 at bats a game over 30 starts, and what's he going to do in those? Is he going to help you more with those 90 at bats than the 30 at bats that you got to, piece out for him at the end of the game are going to hurt you? Like, probably, yeah. Like, probably is going to help you more. He's going to help himself. So I would be a fan of letting the guy hit. I mean, like you said, you're not asking if you're the Angels on days Ohtani is pitching in an American League park, you are not asking him to do anything that Max Scherzer, Jacob deGrom, Steven Strasburg, or any National League regular pitcher would do. What the only reason that you are putting in a different DH for him is to, let him concentrate more on the pitching part of the game, and, to not have to hit just because you have the quote unquote benefit of the DH. I would ask the guy myself. I would be like, be honest with me. Do you really want to not hit on the days when you're pitching? And if he says, I wouldn't mind the break, then I'd say, okay, we'll get a DH for you that day. And if he said, I really, you know what? I kind of when I signed here, I kind of thought like the Angels were the Dodgers and that I would get to hit. Like, I didn't realize that they weren't going to let me hit. So I really want to hit.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, guess
I mean,
what?
it's
You're hitting.
It's crazy not to, honestly. I mean, just think, even if, right, so even say he goes in and he comes out or whatever, like your pinch hitter in that time is gonna be whoever the DH was gonna be, right? Like that guy's now just sitting on the bench. Like if you say, okay, fine, Ohtani was hitting fourth, and all of a sudden now he's or fifth or whatever, now all of a sudden there's a hole. Well, no, there's not a hole. It's just the DH who was going to be there in the first place is now sitting on your bench waiting to come in for that one at bat and go hit. So it's not a waste at all. It's yeah, I agree. I mean, I would definitely hit the guy if he's pitching.
Yeah, I just love to see it because I want these guys, I want to see more two-way guys out there because it's just exciting. Like, and in Strat-O-Matic, like you wouldn't even have to use his pitcher hitting card because he has his own hitting card. So, there's that. Like Red Lucas, that was my guy. The Nashville Narcissus. Go look him up. Look him up. We did the unboxing video. We did Cole and deGrom. We did Ohtani bombs. So that means since this is a quick hits, we're going to transition right into Die Hard Dads. I spent a couple of hours at the bank earlier in this day. A couple of hours. Now, I don't know. That is more.
Was it before or after the police came?
That was more hours than I have spent in a bank combined in the last probably 10 years or so. So today was the day that we opened up bank accounts, their first bank accounts for the triplets, including Dominic and Xavier, who were on the show previously, and Louisa, our pal. Dog, it's not the most efficient process at this point because here's why. You have one person in the bank that's been there for 11 years and she knows what she's doing and whatever. And the other person that's there has been there for a year, but he's never been able to get trained because nobody's allowed in the bank and you're not allowed to go anywhere or do anything. Right. So fortunately, the Rizzos are very patient people. And fortunately for the gentleman, his supervisor, she's a very patient person as well. So I would like to think that that we did a good job all showing patience today. And, something that you would expect to be maybe a 15, 20-minute thing ended up going 2 hours. But, man, those kids are excited to get their debit cards. Now we just got to see if they know how to make them work.
There you go.
So, yeah, that was and it's nice to hear from people unsolicited where they're like, boy, your kids are really good kids. Seem like nice kids. I'm like, well, you haven't seen all of it, but at least for what you're getting, thank you. I appreciate that. So Die Hard Dads today for me is all praise and proud dad moment stuff.
Nice.
Doug?
Let's see. Well, I've actually got to pick them on that. So I've got another bank story, but I actually might hold them one off since you just did the bank story. So
I don't know. You could stick with the bank theme. Why not?
I'll let you pick it. So I get the bank one with the oldest, and then I've got dog goes hiking with the scouts yesterday.
Oh boy, I think I want to go bank theme because I want.
Okay, so we'll save the other one. Yeah,
we got it. I'm gonna check with Mike Puma, our pal, our guest on the next show, and if he's good for participating in Die Hard Dads, I feel like that sounds like it would be a good zinger story.
Oh, this is yeah, it's a goodie. All right, so we'll go with the banking theme that my oldest has been working at a local restaurant. It's obviously mostly a cash business, so limited capacity, but he's out there working away and slugging away for the last 6-7 months or so on that. No expenses, of course, and so he's hocking away, and I've been after him for about 3 months, saying, not for nothing. If like the house burns down, I'm like, it's gone, man. We can't go in there and say like, oh, well, I got all my pay for the last like 3 months. I'm like, that's not gonna fly. So the bell finally goes off, and sometime at the crack of 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so, he finally decides it's time to go out and hit that. So he goes out and opens up his so he has an account with us already through USAA where he set up for him. This is his first one, like local, kind of doing it himself, Social Security card, the whole routine. So went off by himself, big boy adulting time, and went in and deposited all the cash and came back. And of course, Mr. like socking away cash left, right, and center, literally for 1 or 2 days, he had more money in the bank than I had in the bank. And I was like, I just had flashbacks when I was a young lieutenant and I had no expenses and all the money that came in was all mine. And it was very sad, but it was sad for me, but proud for my son that he had a big step up there and got to see the fruits of his work.
Well,
So and he looked like a money launderer, but I could just he passed the know your customer and they took it, so we're good.
It looked like a money launderer or someone who still bets for the bookie.
Exactly.
Although it's legal in New Jersey to bet, well, we're not going to give them any plugs because they don't sponsor us yet.
That's right. Yet.
So, wow, that was good. See, that was apropos for today. And Dog, by the way, I could see on the Fordham chat that PG and Father Russ have already started to celebrate St. Patrick's Day a day early.
Nice.
So we'll see. We'll have to see what we're gonna do. We might be in for a little surprise. Surprise. I don't know. Facebook Live, Twitter, whatever thingy.
Twitching.
Twitching. Yeah. Go on Twitch. Check out our Twitch. You'll find something secret there. You'll be the first.
If you find it, let us know. Send us the link.
Yeah. Hey, you check us out on Twitch. Yeah. And just send Dog the link too, because he doesn't even know what Twitch is. But seriously, we do need the followers. We do appreciate everybody that's joined in here. Whether you've been around for the long haul or you just found out about us, in the last week or few days, we appreciate it. And we're going to try to keep you here and giving you some good content week to week. A podcast not only about baseball, but also about life. That was the life part, Dog. That Veteran of the Day. Dog coming strong on Veteran of the Day for quick hits. I feel like the quick hits, like we have the option to just not do those other segments. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's us if we do it. I can't explain it.
True.
It's kind of working right.
It's the only thing we actually prepare for too.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that is true. That's true. No, I'm prepared. You know me. I have my notebook. I am always there. You're full.
Literally every episode is like Dog goes to like a job interview with Riz.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's coming. I have my Veteran of the Day. I've got my elevator pitch and my Veteran of the Day. And after that, man, this guy could be a knuckleballer. I got no idea.
Yeah. After that, it's Dog's first thing is, okay, how can I take whatever Riz is going to say and steer the conversation toward the Mets? No, wait, you forgot the best part, Dog. All of you, you do tons of preparation before every show, working on your damn background, which you finally got today.
Yes, the diehard background. Yeah, there we go. We're stepping along. We got a green screen, so we're coming along. I have this redunculous wide angle webcam, so I got to pull this in like super close to me right now. And but we're coming along. We're working on it. We're working on a little better lighting, so we'll get set there.
It's good. Is that a 720 or can that do 1080? That thing?
I don't know. It's pretty. Yeah, it's high quality. It's just way too wide for what I can handle.
Well, I mean, it looks good now. You figured it out.
I think it's a 720p. I think.
It is okay. I think we got to figure out a way to upgrade to 1080 somehow. I was talking to producer Xavier about that, and he's got a few ideas.
Okay, I got it saved. I got from a friend of the show, Jerry. I got his little thing saved there, so I blew it. I should order it for $20 over the weekend. It's 26 now, but might bite that one.
Don't order anything until producer Xavier discusses it, because he's got some evil genius stuff working. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll see what we could do. There could be sponsorships that sponsor Dog's webcam. I mean, geez, who wouldn't want to do that?
Installed by Visual Automation.
Yeah. Well, they could be
all together.
Could be. Dog's video brought to you by Rizzo Automation. Check them out at RizzoAutomation.com. That is a real thing, by the way. That is a real thing. And they just got another plug. Good job. You guys are getting plugs. RizzoAutomation.com. If you're in North Jersey, over by me, check them out. They'll hook you up.
They can even make the dog look good. Just imagine what they could do for you.
Wow. Dog, I feel like that was an indictment in a way.
That was a good one.
I know, like a good indictment. Okay. At Diamond Diehards, pretty much everywhere. On YouTube, you just got to search for Diamond Diehards, because until we got to get like much bigger before they're going to let us be like youtube.com/Diamond Diehards. So we'll figure that out in time. But for now, if you're watching us on Facebook, you got to see Dog's background. If you're watching us on YouTube, you got to see Dog's background. If you're listening just to the audio and you're doing an Uncle Paul where you jump in and you check out some videos sometimes, and you're popping in and out, but then you like to go on your power walk or just pop in your AirPods and listen to the show on audio on iTunes or Spotify, then go check out the videos now and then. If you're an audio listener, go check out the videos now and then, and join the Facebook group. I'd say still that's like the best thing. And Twitter, if you like Twitter, I think we're a good follow on Twitter. We're getting there. So I think that's going to do it, Dog. FMSgraphics.com. Check them out. Printing and promotional needs. You're all good there. Uncle Paul's here. He's going to think that like he just walked into the room and smelled bad because we're leaving. But Uncle Paul, it is a quick hit. So you could probably jump back in this video real quick and just rewatch the whole thing before the end of the second period of the Devil game, which is what Dog and I are probably going to do next. Okay, that will do it for the Dog. Jeff Healy. This is Joe Rizzo. Diamond Diehards is out.